Thank you for watching and welcome to our second unit on plants. In this unit, we are going to look at the weeds. Have you thought of what a weed is? Okay, weeds are plants which grow where they are not needed. They are of no importance to the farmer. Some weeds are edible, while others are poisonous. Note that crops become weeds when they grow where they are not needed. Example is a maize plant growing inside a sugarcane plantation. In that case, the maize plant is a weed. We are going to look at the advantages and disadvantages of weeds, and I begin with the advantages. Yes, weeds have some advantages. What are the advantages? Just like any other plant, some weeds are edible and are therefore used as vegetables. Weeds add organic matter to the soil when they are decomposed. And finally, weeds act as vegetation cover, and for that reason they reduce soil erosion. Weeds, of course, have more disadvantages than their advantages. Like we've said, some weeds are poisonous to both humans and animals. Weeds are harmful to crops since they compete for water, nutrients, sunlight, and space for growth. Because of that, they therefore make crops unhealthy. Some weeds harbor pests which harm crops. Some weeds mix with the produce, lowering their quality. Example is blackjack weeds in cotton wool. The following are examples of weeds: Mexican marigold, wandering Jew, Sodom apple, blackjack, pigweed, double thorn, thorn apple, oxalis, etc. Pigweed. Pigweed is also called amaranthus. This weed is edible and therefore eaten as vegetable. It produces green flowers with very many seeds. The seeds germinate, making the weed very difficult to control. Blackjack. Some blackjack have yellow, while some have white flowers. They have black, stick-like seeds with hooks on one end. It produces many seeds, and the many seeds makes it very difficult to control. The hooks stick on humans' clothes and skin, as well as the animal fur. This helps in their dispersal. Mexican marigold. This grows tall and upright. It produces small branches and leaves. They have small yellow flowers which finally matures into black seeds. It has an unpleasant smell, and it is also poisonous. This makes it to be used to manufacture pesticides. If eaten by cows, the milk produces a very bad smell. Sodom apple. These have small thorns on the stem, branches, and the midribs of the leaves. It produces green fruits, some with white stripes, but the fruits turn yellow when ripe. They have purple flowers. It is poisonous and must not be eaten. Oxalis. Oxalis have leaves with 3 lobes, others with 3 or 4 leaflets. It produces pink flowers. The stems are short and the leaves are flower-like. Its root has a swollen structure, and this makes it very difficult to control since this swollen structure cuts and remains underground. It grows in wet areas and mostly under shades. It is edible and often chewed. Wandering Jew. The stems creep along the ground, and this makes it a very good cover crop. They have deep purple to blue flowers. They grow near water or under shades of other plants. Thorn apple. This is also called datura. They have big white flowers. The fruits are spherical and green in color, but have thorns all round. It is very poisonous and must not be eaten by livestock or human. It has a bad smell if touched. Double thorn. This does not grow upright. They have star-shaped seeds with thorns at each end. The leaves have serrated or ragged margin. It is edible and often chewed. Now, my dear learners, let's look at the weed control methods. The process of removing weeds from the farm is called weeding. The weeds are best controlled before flowering stage to prevent them from spreading. Remember, weeds spread when they produce the seeds. So just before flowering stage, the seeds have not been produced. Weeds can be controlled using the following methods. 1. Digging them out. This is the best and the most effective method because the whole weed is removed, including the roots. Tools like jembes, pangas, hoes are used. One must not dig close to the crop because this may interfere with the plant roots. This method also allows air to penetrate into the soil, and so an added advantage. Use of chemicals. Herbicides are sprayed in the farm to kill weeds. This ensures that the plant roots are not interfered with. It is mostly preferred for large farms like tea and sugarcane plantations. This method is not encouraged because it pollutes air, water, and soil, even though it is the fastest method. Uprooting by hand. In this method, the weeds are pulled out by hand. It is the best method in a nursery bed since the seedlings are close together and other methods may not be appropriate. Its disadvantages are, it cannot be applied on large farms. It needs wet soil to ensure that the roots do not remain underground. And finally, you cannot uproot weeds with thorns because they'll prick. Mulching. Mulching can be achieved using both organic mulches or inorganic mulches. We are going to look at organic mulching. This is where soil is covered with organic materials such as grass, tree leaves, and crop remains such as husks and sacks. The mulches are put between the crops. The mulches cover the weeds, blocking them from sun and air. Because of this, they are smothered. What are the advantages of mulching? Mulches conserve soil moisture for the crops by reducing the rate of evaporation. It limits the growth of weeds by smothering them. It reduces the rate of splash erosion since the raindrops do not hit the soil directly. When decomposed by fungi or bacteria, they release nutrients to the soil. Mulches also have some disadvantages, and they include they can hide or harbor pests like termites, cutworm, and rats in the farm. This will then damage the crops. They can spread fire, especially during dry season. They are also expensive to apply, especially on large farms. Slashing. This is the least effective method of controlling weeds. The weeds are cut, but soon regrow because the entire roots remain underground. We need to note that burning is considered a shortcut, but must not be used to control weeds. It interferes with the soil structure, and it is also a pollutant to the environment. Thank you for watching, and see you on our next clip.